I love working with a team towards a common goal.
For the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing Ultimate Frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
You know, give something people to talk about.
Be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on Frisbee.
I play because I love Ultimate.
Find your drive.
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 More pool play action coming at you. It's the women's division now. The first time slot for these two teams. The 1 seed Toronto Tula taking on the Queens Gales, the 5 seed overall. Theo and Sanjay Parker bringing you the action for beautiful Brampton, Ontario. And before we start, we'd like to acknowledge that Brampton lives on the treaty territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, and before them the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee and Huron-Wendat peoples. We also acknowledge that many First Nations, Métis and Inuit, and other global Indigenous people now call Brampton their home. We are honored to live, work on, and enjoy this land. This field, the weather is immaculate right now, Sanjay, and we're looking at this Queens team. They've played this Toronto side 3 times already, and have been unsuccessful in those 3 attempts. Can they do it on this 4th one here?
It's a tough ask, Theo. This Tula team is probably the public's favorite, I should say, to win this whole thing.
People's favorite, okay.
You know, and that's nothing to say that this Queens team isn't solid. They're seeded 5th going into this tournament, so they're a strong outfit as well. But this Tula team has a lot of deep talent. This is also the first game of the day for both of these teams. Can you imagine starting a tournament at 11:45? Must be nice.
But they don't. But I believe they'll probably have to play at 5 o'clock, correct?
That's true. I'd rather start earlier and finish earlier.
I agree. This Queens side, they came 2nd in Ontario qualifiers, losing to this exact Toronto team by 2. As this poll's going up, and Toronto on offense here, and Queens to get here also defeated Guelph in the 4th place game.
You can see both on the field and on the sideline, Queens are bringing a lot of energy to start this game.
Now, there's a lot of Team Canada representation on this Tula side, as Emily Zhang and Alicia Zhang both playing with the U24 mixed team. Both playing with Royals out of Richmond, BC. This offensive line has a lot of club players and experience, including Zoe Young as well, number 14. Jess Gao, number 80, will also be involved and has also played for Team Canada, playing U24 mixed in 2023. So a lot of experienced club players that we were told a lot of them have toured, actually. Maybe only just 1 or 2 haven't.
That's true, and a lot of them have toured at the highest level. Tula alone have 2 Sixers on their team, and that's a lot for a University Series team.
Shannon Wu now. Dumping it back to Gao. Gao finds Zoe Young out of the stack, and now it's Gao once again up the line. Gao finding Wu, and I believe that's in the end zone. Sandra Hansen, Alex Tacone, your observers. And that's 80-99. Jess Gao to Shannon Wu to start off this game with a clean hold.
Nice try there by Madeline Crizzoli to try and shut down Gao, but Gao is one of those players that even at the highest level, people struggle to shut her down, so it'll be a fun challenge for Crizzoli to try and do that today.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if they put different matchups too. We know Queens has an experienced coaching staff. They're bringing in alumni as well. Paul Renault has been a longtime coach there, and both of these teams have pedigree of winning championships in the D1 era. U of T has a couple to their name, and Queens won one back in 2016. And after both of these teams actually ironically missed out last year, not qualifying through the Friday qualifiers or in the previous tournament. So both of these teams actually had to play D1 last year and are hoping, well, they already have better results because they're in D1 this year.
You meant to say they played D2 last year.
Oh, did I say D1?
Yeah,
D2. They played D2 last year. That is correct.
Crazy that this Tula team has come so far in just a year. They are going for gold this year, but this Queens team are hoping for a podium finish themselves. So again, they're no slump. Let's see what this Queens O-line has in store.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they could draw up here. Kate List on this line, playing with Pilot out of Hamilton, Ontario. They have a few other players who played club, like Rachel Oleszczuk, who's played for Local 613. Grace Gauthier going to walk it up, also has club experience herself with Crank. Ryan Young going to be kind of a key cutter for them.
Judith Chow played Incog this summer, Incognito, a women's team out of Toronto. She's taking that handler matchup against Grace Gauthier for Queens.
Yeah, club players matching up against each other makes sense on this field. Oleszczuk dumping it back to the aforementioned Gauthier. No hands in Ryan Young. Olivia Solly also playing with Pilot. And that Solly throws to me high. Can Paymer get there? But crashing through was who you mentioned earlier, Judith Chow. So a turnover from Queens here. Sienna Marr. Rocking the Pit Vipers, playing in style right now is Marr. And pushing off the mark there of Olivia Solly. And play will resume. Disc in the hands of Melissa Han. A D-line starter for them. Not throw low, is that up?
Nice pickup there by Judith Chow. Looks like Queens might be calling it down. Like up to me, to be honest with you.
Tessa Jacoby, the closest Queens player. Jacoby, excuse me.
Great name. Looks like the observers are getting involved. See what they have to say. Looks like it's being called up. Judith Chow will continue with the disc.
More stoppages happening here. Something also a bit different is that Queens is a varsity club there. So you'll notice their jersey numbers only go to a certain number because that's what they're allowed from a club level. They're really integrated with their department, is Queens, both on the women's and open side. They're not going to have 99s out here is what I'm saying. As Chow throws a turnover. Another chance here, 0-2 opportunity for Queens, the Gales. Haymerd set to pick up. One of the captains of this team. Looks off Gauthier, now is a high stall. Gonna rip this flick out. Looking for Ryan Young. And that will be a goal for Queens.
Nice try there by Katie Connolly to get there, but great read by Ryan Young. And what was a pretty difficult disc. She came down with it and made it look easy, though. You know, this is the first game of the day. We already mentioned this with Theo for both of these teams. And so it's important for the O-lines to feel like they have their flow to get into their natural rhythm of things, despite, you know, not really having a lot of competitive time on the field yet so far.
Both of these teams practice, of course, and try to get those reps in. But there's nothing like tournament competition, right? You can practice as much as you want, Sanjay. But when you get to these turf fields, the bright lights, you got the clock going, you got the showcase field, fans in attendance, it's a whole different animal.
I was going to bring that up, Theo. We've got a lot more fans in attendance to this game than we did in our previous game. I think it's lunchtime for maybe some of the open teams, so I think the U of T men's team is back there somewhere watching.
Yeah, I see the drip they got on with the Tula logo. I see York Lions beside us as well. York Lions open team out here watching. So lots of different teams enjoying their break and taking in some of this showcase field action. Now same O-line back out for Toronto, featuring the likes of the two Zangs, both from BC. A lot of BC players on this team.
Very deep Tula team. We can't really express that enough. The amount of talent they have on the sideline supporting them, who honestly play O-line for their club teams, can't even get on the O-line for their university team, is pretty astounding.
Discussion of who's going to pick up the disc. It's going to be with Gao.
Everyone wants the touches, Theo.
Emily Zhang finding Gao. Middle of the field, working against this zone and the mark of Emily Cathcart. Emily Zhang thought about Shannon Wu, going to pump fake it instead.
If if you ever have trouble identifying Emily Zhang, also known as Easy to her friends, she only ever wears pants while playing Ultimate.
I've seen a few players like that.
Couldn't be me, Theo. Too hot.
I mean, the sun is shining down right now. We will say that. A CL Garb with the disc. Looking to shoot the ball deep, but it's going to be caught by Tula, and they'll be out to the races.
I don't expect this Tula O-line to turn it over much, so when they do, it's important for this D-line to really try and take advantage of those mistakes.
Emily Zhang really stepping on those flicks here. Queens staying in their zone. And Shannon Wu working with Zoe Young, two BC players. Zoe Young looking to the end zone and turning around, getting a block at the last minute was Ellie Monroe, but there will be a foul called.
Great block there by Ellie Monroe. She's a defensive stalwart on this team for Queens. Incredibly athletic, really good defense. Honestly, I thought that was a really good defensive play there. I don't know if I felt like Tula had a position to make a call there, but they are calling it. It is contested. It sounds like it's going to go back to Alicia Zhang.
Angela Chan was the person that Zoe Young was looking for.
See if Ellie Monroe can do it again. Ellie Monroe saw that disc late, too, so really good job on her to get her hands in the way. Even if it doesn't come back and even if she doesn't get the D listed on the paper, you know, watch out for her on that defensive space.
Almost like a cornerback that turns his head at the last minute. Great effort from Emily Zhang. A throw from Alicia Zhang too far, and so another turnover for Toronto. That's their second one at this O point. Will Queens have the offensive firepower to get this done here without some of those club players that are on their O-line? That's going to be the question. Karina Dobson, high stall, finding Alex Finlater, who has played for Local 613 this year. Finlater around, finding Chanel Zhu. Emily Zhang was hunting for a block, but Queens will keep possession with Cathcart now. Nothing really going deep for this Queens side as a foot block from Jess Gao denies it at the point of attack. Gao big fake. Young with a nice juke up the line. Going into a very open Shannon Wu in the end zone on the open side. Zoe Young second assist. Or excuse me, first assist of the game. Shannon Wu second goal.
One of the biggest issues, one of the biggest things that any team is going to struggle with against this Tula team is their O-line aren't going to turn it over very often. But when they do, it's still an incredibly strong defensive O-line. It's really hard to score on people like Jess Gao and Emily Zhang and Alicia Zhang. These are really strong all-around players, and it's not going to be easy to keep possession against them, let alone put it in the end zone if you're that D-line now with the disc.
And for this Queens side, they know what the Toronto defense is going to do, right? We talked to head coach Paul Renaud about this, and so they have some unique sets that we might see out here. We're not going to tell you what they are until we actually see them ourselves with our own eyes. We don't want to spoil all their plans, but they have some things they've drawn up for what they anticipate Toronto's defense to be.
That's correct, Theo. As we know, this is the fourth time this game has happened just this season, and so we know that the Tula D-line likes to poach off a little bit, especially off the front of the stack. So it'll be interesting to see what Queens can do to compensate for that known defensive structure.
Gai Sun with the pull makes its way more than past half field here as O-line chants rain down from the Queens sideline and the Queens faithful. Paymerd spins around. Inside flick for Oleschuk, but it's Drew the Chow with the block. So second offensive point, and they both have had turnovers, and one deserves another as Queens will be back out on offense. Jacobi going to pick up. Gauthier, the Ottawa product cutting up line that needs another option. And she will be the one to grab that one. Second effort. Now Kate List. List pointing into the end zone, but we'll reset to Gauthier. Young keeps things going. A little bobble, but still strong there for Aisha Hall-Smith. Go TA. Finding Kate List, and it's 2-all.
Nice offensive possession there by Queen. So they really powered it down that line. They didn't really look middle too often, and they were able to score that point. For the viewers at home, it is kind of a gusty day, a bit of an unpredictable wind coming across the field from the camera to the far side. So it's tough if you're stuck on that far side to swing it to the open side because it might pop up and result in a turn, which is what happened in that first time that Queens had their started on possession. If Queens can keep just powering down that open line, then maybe they don't need to swing it to the middle, and we'll have to see how Tula responds.
And I see the Queens Superfly team, I think they're the top B team in the country. They're being A teams out here. They have a win over Toronto, Tula A on the open side. They're out here supporting the Queens women's team, otherwise known as, is it Paper Bag? That's what they call themselves, right?
Yeah, I don't know if the Paper Bag Princesses is still something that exists or if that's just an old name, but
Yeah,
yes.
but I am correct in that, right?
Yeah, Queens used to be the Paper Bag Princesses. I haven't heard that terminology being used for a while, so maybe we can check in at halftime and see if that's still what they're being called.
Yeah, because I remember on Friday qualifiers, Vert they are no longer for Sherbrooke. They're just Sherbrooke. So
yeah,
we got to make sure we call them by right name. We'll call them Queens right now.
Paper Bag Princesses was an iconic name, though.
I mean, Mothership on their open side is also pretty good. Big pull coming here from the Gales of Queens. Brian Millets, the pull. And Millets with the pull, and it's also going to be on the mark. You don't see that too often. Great grab to keep possession there, Jenny Lee. Jeskow just buzzing around the disc. Quarterback handler. Going to get it right back right now. It's also been with the successful McMaster team. Shannon Wu finding Alicia Zhang. Finding Emily Zhang now. No relation, I don't believe. Just same last name. Unlike the Petersons we saw in the last stream there. Sunday.
Yeah, 3 Peterson brothers on that game.
Look at Jess Gauch just burning up the field.
Nice try there by Samantha Roche by Queens. Really a tough matchup. She was there, but it's a good throw. And Jess Gao is freaking sneaky fast, I tell you.
Played Sixers Union as well, rocking the Union shorts right now. So more club experience to be had. And for this Queens side, we talked about the alumni they have with coaches. So Kristen Craig not able to be here, but Rachel Miner and Sally Franks, players have played for this Queens side and are now on this coaching staff. That's a pretty big point of emphasis for this Queens team to get the alumni to buy into coaching.
Yeah, it's a new coaching staff this year, and it's something that they definitely value and support. I think any of the best programs that we see going around, they have alumni coming back and coaching the teams. It's especially important when you have such a renowned coach like Paul Renaud, but he is a male figure. It's so important to have female coaches come in and support these young women in learning how to play the sport.
Both of them have played for Queens in the past, like we mentioned, and trying to impart that experience over here.
Maggie Chen on the field for Tula's D-line. She's one of the captains of the mixed team in Toronto, Zen. It's exciting to see what she can bring as a mature presence to this team.
Oleschuk finding one of the goal getters so far, Kate List. List spinning for a reset. Nice little cut from Paymerd, but can't get the reset throw caught. Pick called as Judith Chow playing a lot of D points, same with Melissa Hand for this Toronto side. They were listed as D-line starters in our notes, and you see why.
No reason for Tula not to be rotating through their full squad, especially so early in this tournament. You got to make sure as the coach, you get everyone a couple minutes on the field so they not only feel like they're on the squad, but also so that they're staying warm.
Huge throw coming from Gai San, but it's taken away by Queens. Big block there. To the cheers of, I hear a lot of Queens fans, and they're pumped up about that. That was Olivia Solly with the block. Paymerd going around. Seems like that breakthrow to this side of the field is going to be at a premium, this backhand throw. Feels like this will be the high side of the field with the crosswind. A little hammer over to Jacobi. High throw. Oleszczuk is there with the left hand. Thought about the huck. Gonna keep possession instead. Jacobi trying to get free. Finds Paymerd. Paul Renault calling for a swing. And Paymerd will oblige with a throw to Kate List. List has a very open teammate in Aisha Hall-Smith.
The exact same point again by Queens. You know, they're a tall team. They're clearly looking for those downfield options, not swinging it quite as fast as we're seeing other teams in this division. But then when they get to the open side, they're taking those easy throws and they're really powering it down that option. That's the second point in a row that they've scored just by throwing it down that open side, down that lane.
Asha Hall-Smith with the score. AHS is what we're going to call you, number 11. If you got a hyphenated last name, I'm going with the 3 letters is all I'm saying.
I hear you.
BDS on the coaching staff for Toronto. Michael Leung and Rachel Cook as well. So more.
What an all-star coaching
I'm
squad.
just saying more, 3-letter names. But yes, all-star cast nonetheless as well. Both playing high-level club. Team Canada as well for BDS.
This is a really fast Tula team, but they aren't the tallest, and that's maybe an advantage Queens has slightly coming into this game. If I was Queens, I would maybe try and see if we can make Tula force some hucks and see if we can win some 50-50s. Having said that, they've done a really good job of forcing Tula to make a lot of throws, and that's resulted in a couple turnovers. Not in that situation.
Yeah, that is one of the easiest points you're going to see. Zhang to Zhang. Then that's Emily Zhang finding Alicia Zhang. That's 6-5 if you're keeping track at home.
Commentator's curse right there. Sorry about that, Queens.
Yeah, you were saying something else, and Tula had other plans there, Sanjay. They just wanted to march it right up the field, and that was one of the easiest O points you're going to see. And you know what that does, too, is that puts a lot of pressure on the Queens O-line, who's had turnovers on the 2 holds that they've gotten, or 3 holds, excuse me. So now they got to go back out with little rest.
That's what you see a lot of the best teams do, Theo. Quick O points, long D points. Make the other team's O-line stay on their long, and you can always rotate your D-line, keep the fresh legs. You can't fake chemistry, Theo.
I mean, yeah, you can't fake chemistry. You can't fake being good at chemistry in the classroom either. These student athletes out here, I know some students were missing for exams yesterday. They're back out on the field. So, hey, they're out here ready to sling the disc here in beautiful Brampton, Ontario. I want to thank Experience Brampton for helping put this event on. Of course, the official disc of Ultimate Canada Discraft and Be Ultimate with these kits out here as well.
Really got to give a shout out to Experience Brampton. This is a beautiful venue. It's a fall day. We're seeing beautiful trees. I'm not sure if the camera's really getting the scope of the natural beauty that we are here in Canada, in Brampton, Ontario.
There's 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and uni nats in Brampton is what I'm hearing. It's a great venue and a lot of fields for these teams to use, and the division continues to grow because now there's a Division 3 5v5 mixed, along with Division 2 and Division 1. Back when I was playing, there was only 1 division. Okay, so things have changed. Oleszczuk throwing that throw. A lot of pressure there from Ayla Barker, and a foul is called, but Asha Hall-Smith, AHS, is going to hold on to the disc.
Great catch there by AHS. I don't know about that nickname, but she really held on there under pressure. And I think now she's saying that number 2 for Tula, Ayla Barker, pushed her out of bounds, and she would have caught it inbounds if not for the pressure on her. So it looks like observers are calling it out of bounds. Good communication by the players there. Tough break there for AHS. Hopefully she gets it back here.
Now Lishuk bouncing up on down the mark here as taking on Melissa Han, who's played almost every D point, it looks like. Sienna Marr going around. Find Diane Chin. Now Gai Yi Sun. Tula right now on the move here, going very fast. Oleszczuk trying to stop that reset cut is so tough. Celeste Yu tumbles but keeps possession. Stall count should start right now if you're Queens. Solly on the mark. Great pressure from List. But Mimi Liu was there. Mar. Into the end zone. And that's a Tula break. Oh, but there's a pick. Hold on tight. So Toronto fans don't celebrate just yet. Toronto players are running on the sideline too, but
Toronto players had to come back off the field after that one.
I get it. They're pumped up for a break here. There's been no breaks so far, Sanjay. So
that would be the first break in this game. That's right, Theo. What I gotta say, Tula were really breaking the mark really easily there against Queens. That was maybe 3 or 4 breaks in a row. If you're Queens, I know you're 0 point, and maybe you're tired, as Theo mentioned earlier. You gotta stop that around, especially at this level. Sounds like the disc is going to go back. It's not going to be a point for Tula just yet.
Sienna Marr will hold on to it. Sunny G's in tow for Marr. Marr's throw was caught. That was high stall situation. Melissa Han waiting for it to be ruled a goal, and Melissa Han will throw the assist to Celeste Yu. And that's a break.
Celeste Yu cracks me up as a player, Theo. No matter what, her face is always pretty stoic. She doesn't ever look like she's actually happy to be out here. Except I know that she is. I know that she cares a lot about this sport.
Hey, sometimes you got to have that stoicism out here. Maybe they're learning from the good stoics of the past. But looking at Queens, looking at their offensive line, we can see that most of them are walking back to the field. So Paymer, Oleszczuk, Gauthier, List. Actually, it's the same line here, Sanjay. The exact same line. AHS is out there.
And there's Ryan Young as well. Yeah. CCUU's legend.
CCUU. Hey, CCUU's, they took down Traffic to win bronze at CUUC. Some might say a changing of the guard, perhaps, but Queens now back on offense, and Paul Renault trying to talk to his squad here. Down a break. You got to ride with your O-line stars at this level, and Queens certainly trying to do that right now. Queens saying it's break time for their cheer, but I don't know if they know on the sideline that they're on offense right now, Sanjay. You think they don't know?
Maybe they should be calling hold.
Paul Smith. List just pointing, instead holding on to it. Needs a reset. Great defensive pressure there from Tula, and the whole to Kenny. Dakane, excuse me, Dakane. Oleszczuk. Gauthier putting Dakane in the spin cycle right now with those cuts, and Dakane falling to the ground as well.
Dakane is a Crash legend. Played on Crash this past summer. Don't get her talking about her boyfriend, though. She'll go off.
I don't know if you can say that on the stream, but we're going to keep things going here. Toronto getting a turn.
Big huck.
Throw going up. Looking for Katie Connolly playing for Incognito, but that throw is not going to land in bounds.
Katie Connolly dealt with a couple of concussions last January. Really good to see her back on the field. Always tough injury to come back from, because it's not like other injuries where the timeline is a bit more prescribed. Concussions are a tough one because you never know how long it's going to take, and you're so susceptible to it after you have your first one.
Sam Roche. That throw is going to be taken away by Tula. Dakane. Southpaw. Getting things forward to Chow. Chow, open target, but just missing the left hand of Maggie Chen.
Wasn't quite the release I think she was hoping for from that throw. A little wobbly out the top. Nice bid there attempt. Queens on their third opportunity to try and keep this hold here. Tough point to start from it right in the corner here.
Yeah, coffin corner and nice inside shot. Can they get some movement downfield? I'm noticing a lot of stuff just kind of undercuts right now. List. Finding Hall Smith. Hall Smith had a target going deep in Gautier. Paymer trying to get a dump cut. Now Roche. Roche playing with local 613. That's the mixed club out in Kingston. Young, looking deep, finding List. See if List can be patient. And just misses Hall Smith. Toronto does have the full 70 to work with here, though.
Long point here for Queens O, who came off a short break. Tough for them to play O and D like this.
Yeah, we mentioned how fast that offensive point was for Tula. It's very being contrasted by this point. Dakane's throw too far, meaning 3 turnovers apiece. Will Queens decide to use a timeout here? I'm always curious. Roche resetting to Gautier. Oleschuk now. Captain of this team. Ryan Young. Moving things forward as they get the score, finding Kate List. List been very involved in this game. 1 assist, 2 goals.
Great hold there by Queens. That's the kind of stuff that your O-line needs to do. If they're turning it over, they need to earn it back. And getting a second break this early in the game would have been really tough for them to come back. Instead, they've kept it competitive, and now they're just 1 break behind.
We talked about how at the Ontario qualifiers, they lost in the final by 2. At the Easterns in the semi, they lost by 3. So they're just knocking at the door here. But they're going to have to take on a Toronto side that has their full roster, we've been told. That wasn't the case at other tournaments. So that's also a scary thought, is they're undefeated and they didn't have their full roster all the tournaments.
That's right, Theo. Not only is this Toronto team undefeated throughout the whole season, but it's also the first time they've had their whole team for any tournament. So it's really cool to see that everyone's being able to commit and be here on this beautiful October weekend.
We're hoping that beauty continues tomorrow because there's a potential for some downpouring tomorrow. Is that right?
That's right, Theo. We're hoping everyone doesn't do their rain dance or does do their rain dance. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure I understand what rain dances do. But if everyone could just dance away and pray that it doesn't rain all day tomorrow, that would be appreciated by at least 2 people here in the commentary booth.
Big pull here for Queens.
His Queens D-line has to hold that Tula O-line just a little bit, slow them down a little bit, give their O-line a chance to rest.
2 cutters down on the open side, clearing out for Emily Zhang. Emily Zhang looking to the end zone for Alicia Zhang. That is a lethal combo. And it works again, 6 finding 5.
Honestly, there's not a lot you can do about that. Alicia Zhang, easy slashing across the front like there. That's a tactic that's tried and true against a bunch of teams. And then what are you going to do trying to catch up Alicia Zhang? I mean, maybe you try and back her a little bit if you're Queens. You know that's something that Tula wants to do. But that was a dot, and that's what the Zhangs do with each other.
Zhang playing for Royals in the Canadian Series, will play with Traffic in the U.S. Series, and also previously played for Toronto Union. So getting a little mix of different clubs here, showing off the prowess. Vancouver product, a few of those on this team.
Imagine playing Traffic, Royals, and Union all at the age of still being able to play University Series, Theo. What a time to be alive.
Wouldn't be us. Now, Sanjay, you ventured into the mix scene this year, correct?
That's right, Theo. Yes, I did actually get to play with some of the players on this field, including Nicole Dakane. I played with Crash. Great opportunity to play with them. Brilliant team out of the Ontario, London, Guelph,
KW, right?
region.
KW
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. And some of these players, like we mentioned on Queens, like Rachel Oleschuk, who's running by us here, playing for local 613, so another mixed team. So a lot of experience with different divisions, right? It's going to be very different games and different game styles, so that's going to create well-rounded players.
A lot of local 613 players for this Queens team. You had Allison Rogers, Alex Finlater, Ellie Monroe, Samantha Roche, and of course, as you just mentioned, Rachel Ischuk. That's a lot of chemistry to bring to a University Series team.
Jenny Zhao also playing with Crux, another mixed team. That throw's going to pop. Jacoby's going to have some time as a defender not able to get there.
We've seen that all day, that when you're throwing towards the camera, the disc is just popping up. Opportunity here by Tula to break.
Celeste Yu getting
Quick throw.
bookends real quick here. Gai's son throwing that one out.
Oh, now Celeste Yu looks happy. It's only a bookhand or better that makes her animated on the field.
Quick break there for Toronto, up 7-4, and things starting to unravel a little bit for this Queens side. That's where that experience of the coaching staff is going to have to set in. What are you saying to the Queens players if you're Paul Renault right now?
Keep playing your game. Don't let this get into your head. I think you knew that this was going to be a really tough game, and that this game itself does not make or break their tournament. This is an opportunity. This is the first game of the tournament. Let's just make sure we're keeping doing what we want to do. Don't get in your head. Don't worry about it. Don't focus on the other team. Let's go point by point. I think that's what I'm saying to them. Let's see what if Paul wants to throw maybe a curveball to this Tula defense.
What's really interesting, though, is for both of these teams, they play right now, and then they have a bye. Then they play 2 straight. So it's just going to throw things a little off here. Toronto's next opponent will be Western here, and Queens' next opponent will be McGill A.
Turns out, Theo, we've got a bit of a mistake. It turns out the two Zangs on Tula are related. Alicia and Emily Zhang are cousins.
Hey, where'd you get that info?
What a talented family.
Where did you get that info from? Someone in the chat?
Yeah, our one of the Tula coaches, Brittany DeSantos, has given us the DL on that information. Thanks,
Okay,
Brittany.
they're not siblings, cousins. Okay, that's good to know. Appreciate that from BDS.
That's why you have the chemistry on that field. A shout out to Brittany DeSantos, one of the GOATs of the sport, dealing with some of her own injury prowess at the problem, but ignoring that, how fortunate Tula are to have her experience and her knowledge coaching this team.
We'll throw looking for Paymer. Just gonna that win. Just took it right down.
Another chance here for a break by Tula. Brittany DeSantos probably watching this, excited for her D-line.
And this Queens O-line, though, in contrast, has not had a turnover-free hold.
Big huck.
Chen looking, but slapped down by Kate List.
Speaking of club teams for this Queens side, Kate List played for Pilot this past summer.
Pilot. Hamilton, stand up out here. Steeltown. Paymer loves the flick huck and is pointing for it. And is going to shoot it right now. And List almost in the area there. Solana Wong was providing coverage. Solana Wong, part of that Eclipse team that actually won on this field along with Alicia Zhang. Shannon Wu also part of that group.
This Tula team is very proud of their O-line. They've said several times they think they have the best O-line here at the tournament. Oh, nice point there by Queens.
Hey, Queens says, hey, we got an O-line that can score too. Chanel Zhu finding Olivia Solly. Chanel Zhu not playing a lot of O-line points so far, but being called upon by the coaching staff to come onto offense and making plays. You like to see that from Zhu and this Queens side. They're still down a few there, Sanjay, and have yet to really make this Toronto offense look tested, in my opinion.
I agree with that. If this Tula O-line is the best, then this Queens O-line is up there. It's definitely deserving of a podium finish. But it's not that the Queens defense isn't doing a good job. They're making Tula work, especially more in the first half of this half. But now Tula are starting to go a bit more direct, using that cousin connection that we've recently found out.
Cousins. Hey, relation.
To create some chemistry and to create some goals. What I really like about this Tula team is their hair ribbons. I'm a big fan of hair ribbons that are matching in the background. it just adds a bit of flair, a little bit of pop, and a bit of chemistry to the style of that team. They don't have matching tracking pants as we've seen them, as we've seen other teams have, but they do have the ribbons in their hair.
Toronto back out on offense here. That throw too high for Emily Zhang, and Alicia Zhang not able to get there either. Queen's able to grab that one. And then not able to work out to Karina Dobson. And Alicia Zhang will find Shannon Wu, two BC players linking up as Toronto takes half. Offense yet to be broken as is Toronto's side. Up 8-5 right now. What are you seeing out there, Sanjay?
This Toronto O-line is really tough to break down. I think if you're Queens, you got to try throwing some different looks at them in the second half. But I think if you're Queens, going into half 8-5 is not terrible. They've had worse results in previous this season. We're going to take a break here as well. Going into this half, we'll see you in the second half.
I love working with a team towards a common goal.
For the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing ultimate frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
You know, give something people to talk about.
Be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on frisbee.
I play because I love ultimate.
Find your drive.
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 Halftime has concluded here in this Pool A matchup. Division 1, Day 1 of the 2025 Canadian University Ultimate Championships. The 1 seed Toronto taking on the 5 seed Queens out of Kingston. Theo Wan here with Sanjay Parker. Queens down 8-5 right now. Going to start out on offense, and their offense right now, every hold they've gone has had a turnover, Sanjay. So what does their offense need to maybe clean up a little bit?
I know that Coach Paul Renault said that his O-line was going to try something a bit different, and we can see it here. They were doing a 3-1-3 offensive system where that one is being isolated in the middle of the park. What I kind of want to see a bit more is some shots with execution, because when they're trying to swing it around the back, we see what just happened where they're just turning it over.
Looking into the end zone, there's going to be a call from Alexa Paymerd.
Perhaps the biggest thing I think I need the O-line to do is you're going to turn it over. It's going to happen. It's a windy day. You're playing against a good team, and it's University Series. Turnover's going to happen. You got to lock in defensively if you're an O-line, and you got to turn over. There's a couple times where the Tula D-line has gotten a block or gotten the disc, and then they instantly shoot it, and it just doesn't look like the Queens O-line is ready to play defense.
Guy's son throwing that one out, and there was a foul call. It's been retracted, so Toronto gets the break to start this second half, up 9-5 now. We mentioned that Toronto has a 3-0 record against this Queens side, and one of those games was a 15-2 crossover victory at Ontario's, but crossovers when both teams have earned a certain spot sometimes doesn't mean much, but certainly the final in Ontario is by 2 and the Eastern semi by 3 is something you hang your hat on as the divide between Queens and Toronto right now.
And credit to Queens there as well. I'm being critical because I expect with the world of these paper bag princesses, they're playing well against a very good team. And even just then, what I really liked is they made a call, they talked about it, and then they retracted the call. And honestly, that's good spirit, and that's what I want to see at this high level from a team like this. Time to put in the work. It's a 9-5 game, Theo.
Yeah, certainly you don't want to get doubled up if you are Queens right now. Some similar O-line players over Leschuk on the field, but I don't see Ryan Yeung there, and I stand corrected. This is a full-out D-line here for Queens. Noah Leschuk on the field. So this is a whole new group. Monroe tried to get the play, but Maggie Chen with the block. Thought maybe Monroe was thinking about calling a foul, but the disc will continue with Toronto. Avoiding
Maggie Chen was, sorry, Theo.
Is Phyllis Yang.
I was just going to
point there.
Say, Theo, sorry to interrupt. Maggie Chen was a competitive figure skater before she played Ultimate, and you can really see it in the way that she pivots around that disc.
Hey, if you come from other sport backgrounds, I'm sure a lot of the Queens players too is like that. That's going to help you, certainly. Chanel Zhu through the assist for the last Queens score was number 12, and now back out here on offense. Monroe keeping things going over to Cathcart. Cathcart told not to throw it, but it's completed. Fioravento, that's Clara Fioravento. Little reset. Bryn Millets now. Things just looking a little bit difficult for this Queens side right now. Everything just a little bit with some difficulty.
Nice grab there, though, by Madeline Crisoli. That was a high disc, and she pulled that down easily.
That was Jenny Zhao who just threw the turnover there. So U of T out on the move with Marr.
You're right. Sorry, Theo. I read the wrong number on my sheet. That was Jenny Zhao. Came down with that big disc and then threw it away.
Garb throwing in the end zone for Celeste Yu. Celeste Yu, an assist and a goal to her name as Queens gets on the board with their D-line. So the coaching staff says, hey, O-line, we're going to give you a break. That's okay. We're going to get the D-line out there, and they're going to get the score.
I really like that goal, too, because it was a quick transition. They earned the disc back quickly, put it up quickly. Easy, fast goal. Love that for them.
Now the question remains, and this is the million-dollar question if you're Queens and Queens fans, is how do you stop this powerful Toronto offense? And I think that's a question the rest of the division is going to be asking all weekend.
It's a good question, Theo. At the end of the day, this is a Toronto O-line that could play, you know, at the highest level at seniors or anything and still be effective. I think what I want to do is try and take some of their talented handlers and put them out of positions that they want to be in. The issue is with that is that they're so fast. We've seen when you push Alicia Zhang out of the handler position, she's so fast she's pulling in the goals. I think the only other option I could consider is if and when they do throw it away, which they did do a couple times in that first half, you got to be more clinical with scoring against them. They aren't the tallest O-line. You could probably dunk on them a little bit if you have the personnel.
Olivia Solly's got some height for Queens now on the field, plays O-line. I do see Tessa Jacobi, who was an O-line handler. She's out on this defensive point right now for Queens. Gao set to grab this one and put it into play. Rogers running down on the mark. Gao down the line, finding Emily Zhang. And who else? It's Zhang connection.
Boom goes that dynamite, Theo. Two cousins on the field, cousins in life, and cousins on the field. And not only are they cousins, they're best friends too, Theo. They're ex-basketball players. They played together in basketball at a junior level in Vancouver, and then made the decision to switch to Ultimate. Maybe
At the same time?
I don't know if it was at the same time. Maybe one inspired the other. That's usually how it is with cousins, right?
Yeah, do you think they would be like point guards, shooting guards? Like, what are you thinking?
I think I know Easy was a point guard. I know she likes that rock in her hand. I don't know about Easy. I mean, Alicia Zhang. Maybe we can ask her at some point, see if she can do a demo for us. What's nice to see is that she's already got her head in the game, though.
High School Musical. I remember that. I remember that movie very well.
Queens O-line back again, second point in a row. You know, it's tough for them.
Well,
It's
their
tough.
O-line's back out after their D-line had just scored that O point, and then Toronto just got a quick hold there. So Queens O-line back out after a 2-point break. The last time they were on, they were broken to make it 9-5.
It's always tough as an O-line in games like this to keep your head up high and just to keep playing the way that you want to be playing, not to let it get too in your subconscious, I should say.
And this Queens team with some legacy out here. 7 out of the last 15 years have medaled. I mean, that is an accomplishment to behold from this Queens side. They got a lot of support from alumni and, of course, the university as well, being a varsity club. So a lot of legacy out here as Paymerd going to be the dump. Going to receive the disc now. Leschuk starting in the handler position this time with no Jacoby on the field for Queens. Time winding down a little bit here. About 25 minutes and change into the hard cap. So certainly feels like must score for every Queens O point. And see if this O-line can get some movement going against this Toronto zone. Able to work it to this side of the field. Paymerd swinging it over. Ryan Young, excuse me, was on that same Eclipse team that won on this field over Vortex many years ago, 2022, along with some of those U of T players I mentioned, like Alicia Zhang. Kate List, great game so far from number 7, holding the rock. Queens offense trying to swing it side to side, but no real downfield movement right until that throw. AHS. Going right through to Gauthier. Now they find Young. And List had to bend backwards for that one. See if they're going to be a little bit chilly with the disc as they move into the attacking half of the field. Paymerd has Gauthier. Gauthier calling for it loudly. Finding Solly. Solly has Oleschuk going up the line, bounces off the left hand, second chance, and it's caught by Ryan Young. Heads up play from number 8.
I really like that O point there by Queens. They had a lot of things that you need to score. They had patience with the disc. They had some great catches. Their cutters didn't stop moving that entire time. And most importantly, they had a bit of luck. Just at the end there, it kind of popped up, and Ryan Young read it well and was at the right place at the right time. Great goal for Queens. It's the kind of goal that really galvanizes the squad, keeps them positive. Happy for them to keep that disc.
And that was, by our count, the first offensive point that was a clean hold for them. And that's really important for this O-line to get some confidence, because the last point that Queens scored was actually from their D-line. So now their D-line gets to do what they do best, which is try to get blocks, and they're back out on the field now. It's Paul Renault ushering some instruction of how they can stop some of these pull plays, because right now there's been a lot of ISO on the open side. They've been able to get free yards underneath, and then that opens up a huck. There's no poach off the back from Queens, and it just allows for some easy throws, it looks like.
You're totally right, Theo. I think if you're Paul Renaud, this is the chance to try something different. Even if it doesn't work exactly at this point the way you plan, it's good practice for the rest of the tournament. And you got to try something to slow down this O-line, which have just been scoring for free in the last couple games. Last couple points, I should say. Sorry.
This is their first game. That's what we were told.
This is their first game.
Kind of wild to think about. We see the McGill's open team warming up beside us. Sanjay will be on the call for that one. It's going to be the Queens open side, McGill open side at 1:30 local time.
That's going to be an exciting game. I'm really looking forward to that. But right now, we got the Queens women team playing great defense here.
They needed that block, and they do get that with CL Garb. And so now, can they punch it in? They've had some chances, only a few, but have yet to punch it in with their D-line. Finlater. Tight throw and good coverage there from Tula and Zoe Young.
CL Garb, the person who got that block there for Queens just previously, is a legend of the Pookie Bear system.
Okay, Pookie Bears, I've heard of them. They got the pink jerseys, right?
That's correct. Iconic.
I think they're the hot commodity on the trading market.
That's true. Here she is setting up as the reset handler.
Big undercut there from Chanel Zhu, who's had a great game on the D-line. Been impressed with her play. Now finding the aforementioned Garb. Nice bobble and catch there from Zhu, and there's a pick call, so we'll hold on to possession. It might actually go a throw back. We'll have to see with closest observer Sandra Hansen out there.
Hopefully the Tulip player, number 99, Shannon Wu, can at least have good enough spirit to say that that was a great catch. She should get to keep that disc.
Is that how it works?
Not really, but sometimes.
Queens had a very good contested catch earlier, if you remember, on the close sideline, Sanjay, but it was ruled out of bounds because the momentum was going that way. This is a high stall situation for Zhu. Needing something. Gets one in Garb. No one going deep for Queens. Until right now, that throw is going to be short and picked up by Jess Gao.
It's just what Jess Gao does.
That throw's high. Finlater, good pressure, avoiding contact as well. Just in terms of a foul, but there is going to be a foul called.
By Jenny Lee.
I don't know if I think that was a foul there. I thought got disc first in my opinion, but Sanjay, you're the analyst. I'll let you tell me what you saw.
I agree with that, Theo. I think they were both running on the same track. The disc went over her head, and so they both went through. I think what Jenny Lee probably felt was some contact through the back of her, but I think it's because she was trying to get the disc, and she actually ran into the Queens women's lane. I don't think that was a foul. I get why she's calling it, but I think it should be a turnover, and I think Alex Finlater should be able to get that stat on that board. If this gets sent back, I think that's a bit unfortunate because it's not really an opportunity where it feels like that's the fair result. They're still chatting here. The observer is going to offer their perspective, and we'll see if the players accept it straight up.
Alex Tacone, the closest observer here. This is where I would like, because of the pace of the game, I would like decisions to be resolved quite quickly. And it will be done just like that. As Queens, this is probably their best chance right now with their D-line offense. They have to punch this in my opinion, with time the way it is. Bryn Millets. Finlater just churning yards. You.
Me?
Working against Shannon Wu there. Celeste Yu looking with a vision. Looking for Garb.
Nice try there. But great spirit there by Jenny Lee for Tula to retract her foul call and let the Queens D-line get possession of that disc. I always love to see retracted calls. For me, that's the best sign of good spirit.
Look at how far away the U of T cutters are until Emily Zhang initiates. A nice little sideline play out there. Alicia Zhang has Shannon Wu. Shannon Wu going deep, working against Yu. Wu will get there, but short of the end zone, a couple yards away. And working away to the front cone is Zoe Young. 11-7 your scoreline right now.
That was a great shot there by Alicia Zhang. Didn't feel like the throw was affected by the wind at all, and that's the difference that you get from players who played at the absolute highest level.
Something these two teams have an advantage of is that they play in Ontario and they get to see some of these teams in Division 1 more often. We called earlier the Manitoba and UVic Open game, and both of those teams, this is the first time they're seeing competition at this level this season because they don't get to go travel to these other tournaments because of location, proximity, costs, etc. So for this Queens and Toronto side, they get a lot of experience working with some of these and playing against some of these other teams, like Queens getting a couple W's against Guelph, or one W in particular, which was the 4th place game, which sent them into this spot, so they didn't have to play Friday qualifiers. So certainly that does help. The stats don't lie, as I've been told. Only 2 teams have won a title in the women's division, going 1-2 in pool play. So you're either going to go 2-1 or 3-0. On the open side, it's never happened. And I want to thank Pete Galbraith, the head coach of the Queens Open team, for those stats, as he's created a spreadsheet that I've used throughout the years that charts every single winner, how every team's done in Division 1 since its inception.
Wow.
So we love that from Pete Galbraith.
Shout out Pete Galbraith.
We'll have him on the stream later with the open side there, as the women's team for Queens trying to get another O point right now. Paymer going to send her to Gauthier. Ryan Young played for the U20 girls team in 2024. You mentioned CCUU's already there, Sanjay. Young is going deep. Oleszczuk going to come under instead. Solly looking for Young, and Gauthier trying to provide some backside help, but it'll be a turnover for the Queens side.
Brian Lung had some separation from defender, so I don't hate that look, but the wind made it really hard to make that connection.
Hey, wind's picking up a little bit. Sun's still shining down upon us and gracing us with its presence right now. Hear the wind a bit in our mics as it starts to pick up here at the Showcase Field in Brampton, Ontario. High stall situation for Judith Chow. Great effort there, and it's caught. What a grab. DeCane. Just too far there for Diane Chin. Sometimes you get so excited with a big layout, get a little too much adrenaline going.
Conservation of greatness.
I didn't say it. You said it, not me. I made sure to not say it on the broadcast. You said it, Sanjay. So put that on your bingo board if you're keeping track at home. That was you, not me. Okay? Gauthier cutting up line. Thought she had it, but it's going to be a turnover for Queens. And Phyllis Yang trying to punctuate it, extend this lead to 5 for this Toronto side. Chin comes down with it.
Couple of crazy throws in here in a row here, Theo.
That's the wind. The wind is definitely affecting things. You can see it right now. Great grab from Maggie Chen. Can Toronto take advantage of this third opportunity on this D point? Solana Wong. Looking for a reset. Spinning around. Mark spinning around too. High stall. And great mark there from Oleszczuk. Hey, you get that from one of your leaders, going very hard on the mark there. You hear the sideline telling Queens players to strike, but instead it's Mimi Liu with a swat down block. Sierra Petal. Finds Liu. Looks like the force might be changing here for Queens, but it's now in the hands of Chin. Southpaw now. Kane finding Chen. A lot of D-line players getting touches here. And Chen trying to make the layout. 4 turnover apiece from each side on this point alone.
Long point here between the two sides. A lot of turnovers, and it's just making the point seem slow and lethargical, I should say. I think what the teams need to do is take advantage of easier throws and maybe try and spread the field out so that people have more separation.
Gauthier power position as Solly going deep. It's going to pump fake it with the backhand. Thinking about a reset. Great move by Oleschuk to get free of Solana Wong. Roche looking for Paymer. Good concentration from 14. Paymer looking to the end zone. And just misread slightly by Solly. Good idea from Paymer.
Yeah, I like that decision by Queens to put that up. Again, it's just the wind taking it over to that break side. The receivers need to understand that it's going to keep dragging away from the camera.
So got to go to the left is what you're saying.
Got to go to the left.
So
Another huck goes up by Tula.
to the left as Solana Wong catching that huck for Toronto.
Players are starting to slow down after such a long point on the
And
field.
no timeouts either. Gauthier generates the 5th turnover for Toronto with that block for Queens. And now I'm really wondering if a timeout's going to be called. You see hands on the head, hands on the knees too. And just like that, the timeout's going to be called. We're going to do the same, be right back here for the conclusion of this women's division matchup. Timeout or about to be over. We're back here for some more action. Queens really going to have to score quick here if they want to make a run at this.
They are keeping this competitive, Theo. I think they can do themselves proud. 11-7 is a tight game and not something that they're not a runaway like they've had in some of the previous games this season. It's nice to see that Coach Paul Renault has been able to make some adjustments that's able to keep this game a bit more competitive.
And certainly point differential could come into play if there's a three-way tie, so you can't forget that.
It does feel like the biggest opposition to either team on this field so far is the wind.
Yeah, with the lead that they have, Toronto has done a good job of playing with their depth, which they've remarked to us as something really important. And so a lot of O-line starters basically not having to play defense. And that might need to happen in, let's say, the bracket aspects of this tournament, but not right now. And that's a testament to the depth that they have up and down the roster.
Agreed. The fact that they can rest their O-line is huge for the rest of the tournament.
Like, I haven't seen the Zangs or Jess Gao or Shannon Wu play defense, and I think that's smart. Save them for later.
Nice read by Nicole.
Sakane looking to the end zone, but that's going to be 7 turnovers on this point for each side, Sanjay. I'm keeping count on my sheet. I'm just letting you know.
That's a record for any of the games we've done at this tournament so far, Theo.
Certainly not a record in total, I'm sure. I'm sure there was like some C-League game that probably had like 20 turnovers or something.
We've all been there, Theo.
Solly. Had a receiver running deep in AHS. Good grab there from Roche, keeping things alive. Young. Finding AHS. Blading Huck. Ooh, a lot of contact. That drew a gasp from Sanjay and also maybe the crowd as well.
I got to tell you, Theo, I think that was a foul. I felt like Queen's lady was getting up big, and then she got hit in the arm with contact from Tula. See what the observer has to say. I don't think it would be an unfair thing for her to keep the disc where she is right now. tough read, though, either way. The wind is really pushing the disc towards the far side of the field. So if you're going up, you got to know that it's going to end up behind you. Tomorrow's supposed to be also a very turbulently weathered day.
Oh, I don't want to
Very
hear that. I
rainy.
don't want to hear that. What's the weather going to be for tomorrow?
All we can hope is that if it's rainy, it's at least not windy. Rain and wind together is just not the conditions you want for Ultimate. I actually usually say, Theo, I'd rather it be rainy than windy. You can play in the rain, but wind usually kind of dictates the game.
I hear what
Looks
you're
like-
saying. I hear what you're saying.
Looks like the disc is going to go back. Another chance for this Queens team to punch it in.
Yellow card given out there for the contact, and we saw a lot of cards in the one matchup with actually the Tula Open side there, Sanjay. Nice move from Sam Roche to get up line, but AHS punts the disc. Oh! Huge grab from Alexa Paybird.
Great read by Alexa Paymerd. She wanted us to make sure that we knew how to pronounce the names. So shout out to Paymerd. And she was listening to us in the commentary. We listened to her. We said her name right. She listened to us. She read that disc as it was flying over to that far side. Great read. Nice throw up there.
Hey, keeping the hopes alive, as one band once said, staying alive. And they're trying to do that right now. They're down 3 with Hardcap looming.
What band was that, Theo?
I actually don't know the band name.
Oh, it's the Bee Gees.
Is it the Bee
It's the
Gees?
Bee
All right,
Gees,
come
yeah.
on, Theo. You got to know that. You got to know that.
All right, another chance here for the Tula O-line. We haven't really seen any alterations to this O-line today. It's been really consistent all the way through. I guess that's probably what we'll see for the rest of this tournament from the Tula O-line. Just a locked-in 7 starters.
You gotta give them reps, right? Like right now, they've been a little bit tested, but a lot of their O points have been quite smooth. As we see at Toronto on top out here filming some content. He's out here filming some content. He's a big captain here for Zen, so love to see him getting involved in the University Ultimate scene out here. Emily Zhang now has Alicia Zhang, but instead it's Shannon Wu on the under. But hey, this is another chance for Queens. All right, this is a good chance for them. Allison Rogers has Yakami, who's transitioned over the D line. Good pressure from Alicia Zhang. No foul called by Alyssa Chui. Emily Zhang looking in for Alicia Zhang. 10 yards from the end zone or less. Alicia Zhang. Good pressure there from Allison Rogers, keeping the hopes alive. See one of the assistant coaches, Sally Franks, out here trying to usher on the squad for Queens on this close sideline. You see a big poach to the lane from Jess Gao. That's what Toronto is going to do. Queens identified it. Can they punish it, though, is the real question. Throw a little bit behind Celine Lai.
I didn't see the games that Toronto and Ottawa
Queens.
thank you, played earlier this season. But I bet they probably threw into that poach more often in previous games, so credit to them for not doing that there.
If anything, it was actually Toronto that did so as Allison Rogers came out the back of the stack. Here is where I wonder where their offensive firepower is going to come from. That often is a question you ask with some D-lines who are used to just getting the block, but can they turn it into breaks and get that train rolling?
The wind has transitioned a little bit so that it now is with the Queens team. Let's see if they can use this to their advantage. Celine Lay with the disc right now. She's a Sonic Hailhog alumni. Great team. Glad she's getting some touches on this field.
What is that team? I've never even heard of them.
Sonic the Hailhogs is a small club team in Toronto.
Sonic Hailhogs. All right, now we know. Speaking of Toronto, they have the disc now, and you can't front Emily Zangley. She's going to go deep, but the throw not going to work out from Gao. 4 turnovers from this O-line. That's not what you want to see for the coaching staff, right? 4 turnovers. I know the game's ending, but you got to keep the foot on the gas because we know bracket, it's going to matter, right?
Speaking of, there's only about 2.5 minutes left in this game.
Turnovers aplenty right now on this point.
Nice bid there, though. Try and keep that disc alive. It's nice to see that Tula's taking this seriously from the minute 1 to minute 80. Minute left here to go, Theo. You know, I think if this is the final score, I think Queens can walk away feeling with their heads held high. I think they made this a competitive game, and it just kind of, both teams kind of took their foot off the gas in the last quarter here as the completions have not really come through. Maybe it's the wind, maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's both teams realizing that this game is not the be-all, end-all of their university series this year.
They show they can fight as this Queen's side, and the wind just continue to affect things right now.
I think
a lot of turnovers on this point.
Coach Mikey, Coach Britt, and Coach Rachel for Tula, I think you can look at this team, be happy with how the offense performed for the most part, except for maybe this last point, and see how you want your team to adjust defensively for the upcoming games.
Jenny Lee catching that one. I haven't heard the horn go. Have you, Sanjay?
I haven't heard it yet. I'm expecting to go in about 15 seconds or so. There's the horn now there, Theo. So this will be the last point, I believe.
Well, I like that there's a scoreboard clock runs out too.
Remember, every point matters. We've talked about how it's pool play, it's a group stage, and so the point difference at the after the 3 group stage games will come to effect in terms of how the brackets work out. So if you're Queens or Tula, this last point still matters. It still matters to try and score. The difference between a 9-12 or a 13-8 scoreline is significant.
Queens was standing on the wrong side, set to receive though. So Queens not going with their O-line here. It's a D-line out. So trying to get some D-line burn right now are the Gales.
They did score with their D-line earlier this game. So maybe the coach is trying out different options. Sometimes it's not a D-line and O-line. Sometimes it's just different pods.
That is also true. Celestiu's throw. Going to hit it at midfield.
What I really like is that despite the game being almost over, despite the fact that Queens have lost this game, they're still really supportive of each other. After that one throwaway just now by that Queens D-line, they were still really supportive. Mistake there by McMaster throwing that disc on a field. That's embarrassing from their sideline. The McMaster men's team is warming up just...
McGill men's.
Oh, McGill men's. Sorry about that. Are just warming up to the left of us, and they dropped a disc on that field. Let's hope they don't do that again.
A little high release from the lefty. a big time throw, but not going to work. Okay. Big swat down from Dekane. So Dekane threw that high release. Cheeky throw, going to get it back with the block though. Maggie Chen.
Right down the middle by Maggie Chen. Goal for Tula, and that's game, Theo.
That's the game here. 13-8 the final score. Tula takes it. We got another stream coming up for you at 1:30. McGill Open versus Queens Open, so stay tuned for that. We'll see you then.